right, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna talk about some realistic free-to-play endgame goals that every free-to-play player should be striving for. So basically we're gonna be looking at the 2 to 5 years of gameplay, basically what kind of achievement you should be looking for. So right off the bat, we're not gonna talk about T4 because this is something that can be done in about 8 months now. So T4 is really easy to unlock nowadays with Techno Labs and all the speed ups opportunities you get. I'm not going to talk about Pack 4 also. Pack 4 is something that can be achieved easily within 2 years. So these are not the types of achievement we're going to talk about. We're really going to talk about endgame when you've been playing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. At Lords Mobile. So the first one I'm gonna talk about, so number 5 on this top 5, and that's my list. Obviously you guys, you can comment down below, let me know what kind of end game achievement you're thinking about if you're free to play in between the 2 to 5 years old. I'm gonna do a separate video about what's unrealistic, basically anything that's like 5+ years. So this is part 1. This is the realistic achievements. So number 5 is gonna be Gold Watcher. Let me show my Gold Watcher right there. So Gold Watcher takes about 2 years to achieve, right on the dot. In my experience, I've unlocked Gold Watcher on 4 accounts now. 3 of them are free to play. So basically I have one more account. If we look down there, as you can see, this is gold, and then this one's at purple grade. It is about a year and 9 months old, I guess. 8 months old, a year, basically 20 months old. I need about 107. I need 107 medals to unlock to gold, and I just unlocked Pack 4 on this account, and I saved a bunch of merging speed ups. If we look down there, as you can see, 223, 525, 2,550 at 15 minutes speed up. So basically I'll be able to get, I don't know, probably 70, 80 medals just from doing Watcher merging, which I need to pay attention to. But yeah, so this is putting me on track to get my Watcher at around the 2-year mark, also on this account on Langer 5. So this is kind of not the easiest. Obviously, I know some players will do it in 3 and 4 years because not everyone pays attention and not everyone like focuses on Watcher. This is something that I've done. I built up an expertise on that, so I guess for me it's easy, but to me that's the easiest end game achievement you can get is a Gold Watcher. And obviously we're gonna talk about the other hero in another video. Next up, I'd say at number 4, what do we have? All right, number 4 is Max Combat Research for free to play. So that means no tomes. So what I mean by that is, well, let's skip defense, okay? For some reason, let's just do offensive military. So basically, all the military tree up to the counters. So all of this, all the way to the Fury, offense, defense, and HP. All of these. And then in upgrade military, I don't think there's anything related to combat in there. Like in army leadership, we're talking about, well, let's say the wedges, but at the end of the day, we're talking about the army, offense, defense, and HP, as well as the debuffs. So as you can see, I'm getting close to that. I need just 3 Techno Labs for this one. And then I believe this guy is like 80 something. So that's going to be like 2 more months for me to max this out. And then military common, we're talking about, well, the whole damn thing, because hidden talent impacts your stats, your combat, your talents, your stats talent. So this thing down there, and then I don't think there's anything under familiar that has any impact to combat. No, there's not. Obviously, unlocking pack 4 gives you familiars, which boosts combat and all that stuff. But then lastly, there's familiar battle. This is really easy to do. You just need to get level 7 there on attack. All 3 familiar, all 3 battle slots, and then all of these to 7 also. As you can see, I'm missing these 2 because at 7, this is the last tomeless research in this tree. Everything after that requires tomes. As you can see, level 6, there's no tomes required. So this is somewhat easy to do, but I'd say it takes, as you can see, I'm not done yet. Obviously, a familiar battle, I'm close being done, but then I need to finish this. I need to finish the Fury, both Fury, also here and here. This is a 3.5-year-old account, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get this within 6 months probably. Depends on if I research or if I use my tomes. Basically, you cannot do both at the same time. You have to prioritize. But if I were to skip the tomes for a couple months, I would be able to finish this at the 4-year mark, most likely. So tomeless max free-to-play combat research. So that's number 4. Now at number 3. Number 3, this is gonna be full gold jewels in your mix set. And I'm talking about attack jewels. As you can see on my mix set, I have a couple monster jewels. I have 3 of them. So a 3.5-year-old account. I try to prioritize my guild coins for jewels, maybe a couple migration scrolls here and there, but everything else is going to jewels. I have pretty much used all of my admin and quest scrolls. I still have a couple, but that's not enough for a lot of jewels, but I'm gonna get some from there. I have the max payday. I've had that for a long time. I've gotten on all my accounts so far, I think I've gotten 1 legendary attack, and that was a couple weeks ago on this account. So I'm still far from having a full gold jewel mix set. Obviously, these monsters are helping, but it's not the most efficient use of jewels. You would want to have all 3 types, all at gold, because this is only 10% compared to 20. And then there's the defense, but defense is worth next to nothing. So I would say this is something that takes roughly 4 to 5 years to max out fully free-to-play players. Of course, if you're in a guild that spends a lot, you're gonna get some bonus chests, and from those bonus chests, you're gonna get a lot of guild coins, and that's gonna help you when you buy some. As you can see, I have 17 million guild coins. Obviously, I could and I should. I only need to keep like 6 million for Guildfest. So before I do my next chest opening, I will buy a bunch of jewel chests. All right, so that's number 3. Number 2. Number 2, we're gonna talk about research that costs tomes. So there's obviously I'm not gonna talk about maxing out a tree. I'm not going to talk about maxing out familiar battles, sigil, wonder battles, or T5, or even advanced wonder battles. Obviously, if you guys know how much it costs, I know that familiar battle costs around 20,000, sigil costs around 20,000 tomes, gears, so T5 around 20,000. It's 18 something, close to 19 if you do central command, stuff like that. And then I don't know about wonder battles, but I know that advanced wonder battles is close to like 100,000. So this is obviously not something that is realistic in a 3 to 5 window, 3 to 5 years window of playing as a free-to-play players. But there are power spikes, and we're gonna talk about those power spikes. So one of them, so basically number 2 is basically a couple power spikes by using tomes. So one of them, well, one of them is the counters. So the counters, they will cost you about 6,000 tomes. That's something that if you just play the game and you don't buy tomes and you just get them from events and stuff like that, from cargo ship, from the new trial by fire, you're gonna get about 2,000 to 3,000 a year now. So this cost about, I think it's 6,000 to max all those counter research. So that's something, obviously, you need to research everything to get there and all that stuff. But this is something that can be easily done as free-to-play players, and it's very good. The other thing would be getting, let's say, slot number 4. Slot number 4, I don't recall. I think you only need 7 in attack here, but then I don't think you need 7 for these to get 7 attack. And this is kind of sketchy on the wiki. It says something between 1,000 and 3,000 tomes. I'd be inclined to, I know this costs 500, so I'd be inclined to think that it's probably around 3,500 to unlock the battle slot number 4. So it is obviously not obviously counters are harder to get than if this is 3,000. I don't have the information, and I have no plan on going that route on this account to figure it out just yet. And then the last one I'm gonna talk about is I'm gonna talk about sigil, but I'm not gonna talk about helmet sigil. I have done that. This is 2,800 tomes. This is kind of easy to do. This is not an endgame achievement, but getting 2 of them, which I would suggest getting the legs, because you get the, I know it's defense, but you get range and cav instead of infantry and siege. So it's better to go that route than to go this route. So getting 2 of them, I don't know what's the cost. It's probably around 5,000, I'd say, between 4,000 to 5,000 to get the legs, knowing that it's close to 3,000 to get the sigil, the helmet. So yeah, I would say like 4,000 probably to get the legs. How much they cost? 160. So yeah, you need all of this, and then you need all of this to level 10. Yeah, probably 4,000. So these are the power spike for free to play with the tomes without going all the way down these specific trees. And I'm not saying that number 2. I'm not saying a combination of all of them. I'm saying each one of them is an end game achievement for a free to play player. So all the counters is one achievement. Getting 2 sigil is one achievement. And I think the easiest one would be battle slot number 4. There's a huge difference between this and this, because to get this, you need obviously to finish these. You also need to get all of this to level 10. So, and then that's a total of 20,000 tomes. So this is not realistic as a single achievement between 2 to 5 years. And then the last one, so you guys saw my gear, you saw my mix. I currently have a purple mix set, and then I would say that the one of the biggest achievement, which I would say takes about 5 years, is to get a full gold mix set with level 60 equipment only. So I'm talking about if you have a piece of equipment that's level 50 in this slot or 55. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about level 60 monster, basically, equipment, or champion, but I'm not going to talk about champion in this video. This is going to come up on the next video. But basically, if we go slot by slot, I mean, if you look at this, it's a 3.5-year-old account. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to equip it. Come on. Equip. All right. So basically, if you look at my upgrade on this, I am very far from any of those gold. This is going to be somewhat easy, 2 out of 7 on this 3.5-year-old account. This is also gonna be roughly easy, 3 out of 8. So I could boost that by doing labyrinth and stuff like that. This is gonna be harder. I'm at 0 out of 8. And same thing for the Bumblebee, 0 out of 10, I believe. Yep. Well, yeah, close to 1. No. 1 out of 10, but still, I need 9. And then if we go to this is my halfway, a 2 out of 9. 2 out of 9. So it's gonna take a long time for these, but basically, so you don't have to have these equipment, obviously, by having a full gold set. If we go slot by slot, let's go to all equipment and the main end. Let's go to gold. This is a level 60. This is easily achievable. You only need 4 piece for Frostwing arts. This is easily achievable, although I'm not a fan of Frostwing Greatsword. Otherwise, the Skull Crusher champion is really hard to get. And I'm talking about combat, obviously. This is hard to get. The Ghastly Cane, you don't get a lot of chests for these. Same thing for the Eon Axe from the Gorilla. So we're really talking specifically about the Skull Crusher or the Frostwing Greatsword. If we go on the off end, there's Winter Mitts. There's the Codex also, that's easily achievable with only 8 piece, but is mostly for cav and range, mostly cav. Although the Winter Mitts is for range, and also, I mean, there's army HP. That's good for taking hits, so that's why I think about it. And then you get a couple of the harder one to get. These are from the newer monsters, so you don't have. And then Eerie Lantern, yeah, newer monsters also, so it's harder to get. And then there's champions, obviously, but champion is hard. This piece of equipment in champion only takes 6. It's not the easiest one to get, but still. And then accessory, there's a couple options: the Blight Ring, the Cup, and then newer monsters, and then below level 60. Helmet, there is the Coronet. Coronet's easy to get at gold, but it is for range mostly. It's not a good army or mix piece of equipment. The Beast Helm is good. Bumblebee is good. I mean, Beast Helm is really good. In fact, it's just slightly below the Bumblebee Helm, but it's easier to do. No, it's about the same. You need 10 rares. And then that's it. You go down to 55. At the armor level, the Terror Shield is good for infantry. Obviously, some army HP on there. You really want the Fireplate Wall. The Terror Shield would cost you 9. Fireplate costs you 10, like I said, and then it's mostly, yeah, this piece of equipment from Ukla is hard to get because it's hard to get rares. And then the boots, there's some options. Gargantua is for cav, but you need 8 piece. It's kind of easy to get, roughly. Dragon Stallion, I'd say, is the better option for this because you have HP. And then you got the Tacets. Oh boy, yeah, the Tacets, you get more attack. It's really an infantry piece of equipment, but it's 11. It's hard to get to gold. But there's some options. Obviously, there's 2-3 of them that only cost 4 to 6 rares, but then obviously, like I said, the cups 13, it's really hard to get. I would say it takes a full 5 years starting now, because if you look at those older accounts, when they started, they didn't have the same option. Don't go and say to Brendo free to play that he has a bad mix set because he doesn't have full gold, because when he started, it was really harder to get some equipment, right? Nowadays, we have Trial by Fire every day. You get basically 1 or 2 gray piece of equipment, rare materials. So if I look at this, I get between 1 and 2 of those a day. and it's same thing for each stage. So it's really easy to level up some of those equipment now. It's way easier now, way easier. So 5 years, I'm talking about starting now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get all of this to gold by the time I hit the 5-year mark, but I'm gonna be close, because I already have 3 pieces of equipment that I know I'm gonna get to gold by the time I hit the 4-year mark. So these 3, I'm gonna be left with these 4. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get 1 cup, but I'm not gonna get 2 cups by that time. So these are the 5. Like I said, Watcher, easiest one, I'd say 2 years, and then 2 was the power spike with the tomes, kind of easy to get depending on which ones. Battle slot familiar 4, counters, and then 2 sigil slots, which none of these I've done, because I'm going full on T5 on this account, and I'm still very far. I'm about a third of the way done. It's gonna take some time. Number 3, I said gold jewels. Gold jewels is something that's gonna happen. Yeah, probably by the time I hit the 4-year mark, it's gonna be full gold. So another 6 months maybe. And then max free-to-play combat research is something that I'm gonna achieve kind of soon. A couple months for finish leadership, and then just to finish this. These are that's where I'm gonna put my techno lab. So probably by the time I hit 4.5 years old, probably I'm really closing in on this. And then lastly, full gold equipment. So all right, that's about it for this video, guys. Tell me if you think these are realistic for a timeline of 2 to 5 years of gameplay, completely free to play. Completely free to play, never purchase anything. And I'm not talking about having an account with the another account with the elite labyrinth and then gifting you stuff, gifting you tokens and stuff like that. I'm really talking about doing it on your own. Obviously my main, I have the elite labyrinth on my main. I think I've gifted my accounts once or twice, and not this one, but the other ones I've gifted once or twice just to finish a guild fest at some point, which I have not done in about 2 years. So and I'm really not talking about boosting an account by elite labyrinth. I'm talking about doing it on your own. So these are the 5 endgame achievements that I think are realistic for free-to-play players. Stick around for the next video in a couple days, where we're gonna talk about the unrealistic free-to-play endgame achievement, which are 5+ years in the making. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and see you later.